buddy.
Was it like?
Yeah. Give me your best. Give me your best. Your best beast.
Wait, oh yeah, he does like this, right?
Yeah. Straight up.
Yeah, I got you.
There you go. Okay, so can you hear me?
Yeah, everything's good on my end.
I saw. I was reading through the comments, and I saw Larry Wheels said, "Dude, hey, is he coming?"
If he pays for it, fuck it, I'm in. Let's do this. I'm fucking in.
All right, Beauty and the Beast. We have to announce our first official sponsor, and you know him. He's Jamie Sheldon NATFIT.
Yeah, NATFIT.
So, how do I know Jamie Sheldon? The simplest way that I can describe Jamie Sheldon is he is sporting an ARMTV tattoo. So he's the best person to have as our first official sponsor. Now, Mr. #BoatLife, if you're out there, you're still important, but we had to do, I still want you as a sponsor, so not dissing you, but I have a special relationship with Jamie. Has nothing to do with the tattoo. But Jamie started NATFIT 2017. He wanted to take advantage of this amazing community. He wants to be a major player in the nutritional and supplement business with in fitness with his products. He has like over 20 products. He says it's for children all the way up to old people, and he wants to be a major player. So support him, support NATFIT, and hopefully he says he's got big plans for the sport of arm wrestling in 2021. So, you know Jamie, I know Jamie, a lot of people out there know Jamie, but bam, support that man. So you don't look like the Beast. So listen, I got a funny story for you. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
I posted that Tom Nelson story. Did you get a chance to watch it?
No. I haven't been watching much stuff lately. I'm not lying. Ever
since I posted this Tom Nelson fight, Travis has disappeared.
Oh, you posted the story of him when he fought Tom Nelson and
yeah.
And all that? I wanted to hear about that. I never saw that one. I never heard the story officially from Travis's side.
I posted it a week ago. And let's just say, I thought it was the funniest thing I ever heard. It was amazing. But Tom Nelson did not feel that way. Like, he's really upset about it. So, you know, I thought it was just arm wrestling related. I just didn't know how deep Tom Nelson's anger with Travis Bagent goes. So personally, taking a step back from that, I don't want to be involved in any like seriously bad blood beyond arm wrestling. But Travis, I was sick, and he did text me. So maybe it's my fault that I've missed a few shows opportunities with him. But now I haven't heard from Travis. Are you live? Did Tom Nelson?
Oh, so since I'm like filling you for Travis, do you want me to be like my version of Travis? Like, these motherfuckers, man, they can't be doing shit, man. Like, these fools ain't got shit. Let me tell you, they all call me daddy. This. Like, is that like
Yeah.
Okay.
Every few, not the whole show, but every few minutes, if you have any Travis-isms, feel free.
I got a ton of them. Oh, hell yeah.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're perfect for me.
Okay, so we cut out a little bit. Here's the deal. I was like, okay, I don't know how long Travis is going to be gone. So I'm like, I got to have Beauty and the Beast. I'm like, I can have fill-in Beast. The whole thing, you could be Beast of the Day.
Beast of the Day.
So if you have any Travis-isms that you want to –
I got a ton.
You do?
Don't worry. Yeah. I'll just you know, I'll pull out my Travis impersonations throughout this whole thing and we'll figure it out.
It'll be beautiful. So the thing is, this is 100% real. Okay. I have not told Travis I was going to do this. I think so he's called me and I was like, I'll call you later. And I never called him back. And then that happened a couple times. And then he texted me a couple random times. And I was like, I can't talk right now. And then I talked to him for like a second. And then he said, we do it tomorrow, like on Thursday. So I was going to message him and say, dude, I'm going to have a special guest. I'm going to do Derek. But I was like, no, I'm just going to surprise his ass. I'm just going to surprise his
beast. That's my boy. He's a beast. But wait, ask me if I can beat him. Now ask me if I can beat him, Gary. Ask me if I can beat him. I'm telling you.
You beat him?
That bum? Are you serious? He can't even hold hands with me, Gary. Oh, my God. That was a bum. He doesn't even belong in the same room as me. He came in this room. I told him, go tell your best friend sit over there and your wife and kids sit over there. And everybody you ever know not look away because what's about to happen is really bad, Travis. What's about to happen is really, really bad. You can't even hold a candle to me, Travis.
Oh, dude, you brought up a good point.
What?
So the whole thing is when I hear Travis, I just automatically put him in. I don't take him seriously almost for most stuff. So when he starts going off about that, it's like he's in this little box where I filter him as funny. But like some of your fans were listening and I guess he said like something about, you know, I'd kill him in front of his family or something. It's like, oh, you know, that's like real. Like I take it as like a joke.
I hit him up,
but not everyone.
Right after that.
So I apologize during that episode. If any of your peeps were like, hey, we're disrespecting my man.
I know Travis really well. I know Travis really well, like you do. I've gone out with Travis. We've gone out to tournaments, gone out afterwards, drinks, and, you know, things like we've hung out a ton. Travis is my boy. That's why I know he's just being, you know, for the cameras and stuff. Don't get me wrong. Travis, anybody that's wondering, off camera is still a really cocky dude, but he definitely dials it up, guys, a little bit for camera.
Yeah.
But no, I hit him up and I was like, dude, really? My daughter, you brought that into it? And he's like, you know, it's just for the camera. You know, I love you, man. You know, maybe that was a little bit too far. So it was all good, man.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I don't even hear stuff like that. The fan, like, it's just like Travis being Travis, and I can't really, I can't put my, you know, it's like, it's weird because when someone brings it to my attention, hey, that's over the line. Like what he said is over the line. And I'm like,
yeah.
Let me go back and listen, because the first time around, I literally, I don't see the lines. It's just Travis being Travis. So it's hard for me to see that, but especially in today's world, like there's lines. People like, hey, we don't.
Oh yeah, don't nowadays, there's for sure lines nowadays.
Yeah, you don't say certain things, and that's just the way it is. So anyways, it's a good point. I should probably be more aware of that, but anyways, I've been wanting to talk to you, but so I don't want you to think that you like only became important to me because you just arm wrestled Devin, because I have
man, the Devin clout. It's fucked up, Gary.
Yeah, I'm sorry because I do. So we talked, you know, it's now been a few months, and you're like, if you want to do an arm wrestling show, I hope I can bring this quote out, but you're like, you know, Travis hasn't been involved like lately. He doesn't technically know. Like, if you really want to know what's going on, you got to talk to someone like me because I know what's going on.
No, I just mean like, I know Travis doesn't like watch every video. Isn't in all the, you know, inner workings of every match going on and all the shit talking. Like, you follow it like as closely as I do, just like with the most current events. I mean, I don't think he does. He has time. He's with coaching CrossFit and his boys' football team and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And I just know he's not as involved with all that stuff. So,
yeah, and so it brings up like, so with the Beauty and the Beast. And I think some people in the audience, they think, so my message to you people, I was going to do this totally with Travis, but my message to you guys out there, I've already gone over this, and I hate to repeat myself 17 times for the fanatics who've watched every single minute. But like, Travis wanted to do this because he needs content and he has cool stories. I agreed to do it because I needed a way to connect with, running a YouTube channel. I wanted a way to like tell people what's going on. And this is an easy format. So like, as I'm getting back into the sport, I apologize for some of you people out there. Oh, I'm using quotes wrong. You brought up, you're like, quote.
Apologize? Do you actually apologize? You don't need to do air quotes if you're actually apologizing, Gary. You understand that, right?
I use quotes for the opposite. I apologize. No, I really do apologize. Yeah. The thing is, my getting back into the sport of arm wrestling, yes, I'm trying to get caught up with what's going on in arm wrestling, but at the same time, it's more like a behind the scenes of a YouTuber trying to be in arm wrestling. I know it's weird. I don't know how to use quotes.
You ever see Talladega Nights where Ricky Bobby's like, I don't know what to do with my hands in the your hands are coming to start doing air quotes.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands
in the middle of your sentences, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I don't, and because I used quotes with Derek.
Yeah.
I said, Derek, when I knew Derek, he was new, and now he knows what's up.
Yeah, I know where it's from. I'm well aware.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean. You clearly see I use quotes. Anyways, my point with the show is, it can come off as venting because now that I've learned as being a YouTuber, is it's a little stressful. It's a little drama. It's like, oh, Gary's the drama queen, every day bitching about. It's like, let me tell you, trying to do a YouTube, and you have a YouTube channel, like it's not all like with the ArmBet stuff. It was so exciting. Every time I talk about ArmBet, it's like, it's happy Gary because arm wrestling, I'm meeting people, and it's like, that's the happy me. But with the YouTube, it's been a little dramatic, so it's not every day the happy me, you know what I mean? So I apologize for people out there, but like to Travis, don't get it twisted. Like, my point of being here is a way to communicate my experiences, not in just on the sport of arm wrestling, but my experiences as trying to be in arm wrestling as a YouTuber, which I kind of hated that term, but I'm like, I might as well just adopt it. I guess I'm a YouTuber, right? I'm a content creator.
Right.
So anyways, I wanted to let the people know out there, like, this
I got this. Man, Gary, don't be apologizing to these pussies, man. They need to go get their knowledge somewhere else. Gary, you can't be trying to follow up and fill every void they have in their life, Gary. We're trying to do our thing out here, all right? You're gonna listen to the Beast and Gary, and we're gonna figure this shit out. I don't care about what they worried about in these comments.
Exactly. So my point is, like, in the very beginning, I was using the show as a way to kind of get back into the sport of arm wrestling, find out what I've missed.
Right.
And you clearly have been one of the guys, like, okay. You texted me. You're like, dude, I told you I was a lifer. I'm like, I'm a lifer in arm wrestling, and I never left. Like,
you should have clipped somewhere.
Yeah. Where I was looking for it. I'm not Uncle John. I don't come prepared with clips. Like, he has his stuff all.
Edit it later. Find it.
Yeah. Do you know where it is? Like, do you know when you said it?
It was a tournament where Jay Griff showed up. It was John Bergeson's tournament where there was it was that tournament. I remember exactly where I was standing. I can't remember the city though. It was somewhere in Southern California. I told you
that helps. Was there an arm break at that tournament?
Did Jay Griff break his arm that time?
No.
I remember that was his first tournament. That was the first time anybody ever saw him. He came out the box, and I arm wrestled Tom Nelson. That was my first time ever pulling pro. I pulled Tom Nelson first round.
And you told me what that day?
That I was gonna be a lifer. You're like, oh, Derek Smith here again. Like, good to see you. And I'm like, dude, Gary, I'm in it for life. I'm hooked. And you're like, yeah.
Hey, man, you don't understand. I'm a very obsessive person. This says one love on my arm right here. One love in German. And not one love because I'm Bob Marley guy. One love because I'm very obsessive. I obsess on one thing at a time. One love. So I was like, okay, man, you don't know me. When I say I'm going to get into this thing, I'm going to get into it. I'm not going to stop until I'm amazing.
And again, not to be dramatic, but like, I have all these people and they're not trolls. They're like legitimately people I considered friends, and they're like, you left, like you abandoned us, like you ditched us. Like, how could you? Like, if you love arm wrestling, you'd never leave the sport. Never. And I'm like, I get it, but life happened, right? I didn't leave the sport because like I wanted to leave the sport, but I should have hung out. I should have stayed around. But like for me, I couldn't go to the tournament and not do me, not like film. And once you filmed, then that comes with work. And it was like, I love to still arm wrestle, but I just can't picture a world of arm wrestling where I go to a tournament with no camera and I enter it and I just arm wrestle like a normal person. It was like an all or no, I don't know why. It's weird. You got any opinions on that? Like, are you mad at me for leaving? Did I abandon you?
Did you abandon me? I mean, it was sad to see you go.
Like, did you let's say you are the epitome of the arm wrestler, the lifer, you never left. When a guy like me left, did you take it personally? Or
our relationship was different than your average arm wrestler, since I knew you fairly well and we traveled around together, and I knew like that there were stresses on your life and you're trying to get more subscribers because I was constantly with you, trying to get on ARMTV, and you would talk to me about that, vent to me sometimes about it. So I kind of knew the pressures going on. And so because of that, when you had to back out and go try and find ways to make money because you had to, that's life, then I didn't take it too serious. I was like, yep, shit happened. Gary had to go do things for his family and for his life. Like, that's what it is. And so like, I didn't take it super offensive by any means. No, not for me, but that's what I'm saying. Other people who across the United States who just enjoyed your content and then you leaving, maybe they did. I didn't know.
Yeah. When I talked to Leach a couple months before I came back, and he told me just it was so casually. He was like, so I was like, you still arm wrestle? He's like, yes. I said, what? He's like, yeah, I just had a practice. And he's like, yeah, and the new guys, they don't even know what ARMTV is. And he said it so like casually, like he didn't realize, like when I hear that quote, they don't know what ARMTV is. It was like he pulled out a gun and just popped me in the head. It was like, what, warn me before you murder me. Is your experience, you're now, like you have a team, you have people, you train people, you coach people.
Right.
You like it. When new people come in, like, did you see, like, tell me, when did people transition to not even knowing what ARMTV was? Like, what year? Like, how did it happen? Do you remember? Like, did you have to tell people?
I mean, in general, in arm wrestling, it's a revolving door, right? So many people join and so many people quit. Like, it's nonstop, always like that. So that being said, like, within this sport, if you're not currently releasing content, then it doesn't take long for people to not know who you are, because it's just always new guys coming in and out, right? So I don't know, man, probably like a year and a half or 2 years of new guys coming in and other people stopping, and then not
so you're saying, so let's say you're the perfect example of a lifer. You came in, you fell in love, you were committed, and you're going to do it forever. You're going to tell Gary Roberts on camera, I ain't going nowhere. You're saying that as now a coach, as a person with team, that's rare?
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely rare, for sure. Most people, you get like a couple different types of people that come into your practice to start up. Generally, you get someone that's strong out the jump, then they're successful out the gate, and then when they start running into rough times, a lot of times they'll end up leaving. The guys that usually stick around are the weaker guys that join up, and they if they can get past the first couple practices and get used to getting back.
You need to say that whole thing over. Okay, the guys that come in and then you went like this, and then you said they end up leaving. I didn't catch that. What do you mean? Okay. Why would they leave?
Guys that come into the sport at a really high level, that are really strong, like off the jump, they're winning tournaments and they're doing really well. A lot of times when they come across hardship and they start losing and things aren't going their way, a lot of times they quit. So they'll be really into it up front, and then they quit not long once they start kind of losing. And then, but the guys that stick around for lifers are usually the guys that join up a little weak maybe can beat like 1 or 2 people but lose to everyone else. And those are the guys that see that there's some potential, but there's a long road ahead. And if they do stick it out, those are kind of tend to be the lifers, the guys that stick around for a long time. But
so you're saying someone who comes into your sport and comes into one of your practices and he can like give it to everyone on your team but you, and they're like kind of cocky and they're like, oh, I'm good at this. You're saying that guy goes to a tournament, like an amateur event, wins, and then the minute he faces any other deeper conversation than Derek, competition, they're like, oh shit, I actually am not that great, and then they quit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you come in with a little bit of chip on your shoulder. I'm a strong guy. I beat a lot of the guys at practice and stuff like that. And then when you realize that there's also a huge, like a big, long road ahead of you, then it's like a tough pill to swallow. Like all this arm wrestling stuff is a series of you get strong, you test yourself, and you see how much further there is before that next level over and over again, like I just did yesterday, right? It's like, it's just a series of that for, at least for me, rinse and repeat. Go home, train, prep, test yourself to see where that next level's at. Hopefully you're there. If not, go back, put your head down, train, repeat. And like, it's just years. This is like 11 years of me just seeing the next thing, training my ass off, trying to get there, like over and over and over again. And so, I mean, that's a series. Some people can't swallow that pill.
I want to tease this because I was thinking when you agreed to do this, I was thinking to myself, wow, Derek Smith this year, 2020, has anyone else arm wrestled Michael Todd, Devin Larrett, and did you arm wrestle Larry Wheels this year or was it previous years?
I think it was the beginning of this year at the NATFIT Expo. We did it 2 years in a row.
Okay.
At the NATFIT Expo.
Okay, so is there anyone else in the world that could say they've arm wrestled Larry, Devin, and Michael this year?
Well, me and Mike didn't really arm wrestle. It was a practice. So
No, but you still felt the arm.
Oh, I don't know who else. I mean, okay.
I think it's your special. I think you have the reason I ask is because you have a special insight.
Juji Mufu arm wrestled him.
Well, but so that's an awesome level to be at. So that's why I want you here because I don't want to get to it yet, but I just wanted to, for the people watching, you have a unique perspective to give us some analysis of this situation. Okay, so back to, and we're going to get to that, guys, but I want to take advantage of my time here with Derek. When you get a guy coming into practice and they do have kind of the chip on the shoulder, do you tell them like, no, it's not this easy?
Away. It's like there's gonna be a phase. There's gonna be a spot where it's a 2-year gap or a 3-year gap. And you're gonna see the 3 years in front of you, in front of your face. 3 years of grinding and pain and everything like that, and that's a long road to walk down. So when they see that, that's like very daunting. But yeah, I'll tell them right away. I mean, I try to get everybody to stay. That's my goal, is to get everybody to stick around. You know, just in my experiences, the team's been around for like 6 years or so, or 7 years, and yeah, I've seen so many people come and go. I don't know how many, hundreds of it.
Like really? So is it hard to, like when a guy comes in, do you try to, like dating, do you like, I'm not going to fall in love with you until I know you're committed?
Speech. Everybody on their day one gets the same exact speech from me, which is kind of like, it's boiled down now. It's a little rougher. Because I tell them right away, because I've invested so much time and I've spent like hours and hours with this one guy teaching him everything, and then he quits the week later. Like I poured everything I have, like all practice, I'm just with this one guy, and then he just quits. So over time, I boiled it down to when someone first shows up my practice, I teach them how to not break their arm. I teach them how to do a basic hook. And then I tell them, I say, listen, man, this is a passion for me. I'm not paid to be here at practice. You're not paying me to train you. And I said it, and I'll tell them, I'll be like, honestly, odds are you're not going to stick around for a couple months. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you do.
Wait. You tell them that? You tell them odds are you're going to –
Yeah. And I say, so listen, I said, as I see that you're taking the sport more serious, as you show up at practice, as you return to me, I'll take you more serious, and I'll invest more into you. I said, but you have to show me.
That's really interesting.
I tell them that straight up, and I know it's kind of a dick thing, but –
Okay, you know. So give me a little context. You said your team's 6 or 7 years old. When were you like pouring all your heart and soul into practice one? And then when did you slowly realize, I can't do that? This motherfucker might quit. I'm gonna
like
wait till
3 years or so, because probably about like 3 years into it, I was still chasing everyone. People would join up. I'd pour everything into him. Then he would start quitting, and I'd be calling him, texting him every day, like, yo, are you working out today? Like, yo, why aren't you here? And trying to follow up with everyone, chasing every single person that's trying to quit. And then I realized, like, all I can do is focus on the new batch coming in and just keep moving forward. And if you fall off, you fall off. I can't keep training you. So it took a while for me to realize that, because it's hard to invest a lot of time, build relationships with a bunch of people, and then they just leave. And you're like, dude, where'd that guy go? All right. And life happens. And I had to come to terms with that.
And so is there like a top 3 reasons why? Like, what's more likely that someone does quit, the life, or they realize they're not good enough? And like, it's an ego and they don't.
I think it's the pain, Gary. I think that, and I tell a lot of guys this, I think it's not the pain up front. When you first kind of practice, everybody tells you, this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt. You're like, okay. And then it hurts for 2 weeks. And you're like, oh, shit. All right. And you come back and you try again. It's the pain like 3 months into it, where you haven't had a good solid night's sleep in 3 months, where all of a sudden your job has been held for 3 months, where it's that like months later, and they're like, dude, this isn't going away. And then that's when it all starts with like hey, I'm going to miss this practice, but I'll be at the next one. It starts with that. And then it progresses to, okay, I'm going to miss maybe that next one too. And then slowly they just stop. And because they realize, oh, man, if I don't miss, it doesn't hurt.
Dude, I know when that was for me. So I can't wait till I share the 2007 road trip when I talked my wife at the time into buying a Prius so I could do a road trip across the western part of the United States. And I remember, and I can't wait till I review the video, but I was at Bob Brown's house and we had a big practice. I did a stop in Las Vegas and then Salt Lake City. And I remember the pain on my arm. My arm was like going to fall off. And I was like, I remember thinking to myself, and I can't remember if it's on video. What's your name? Where are you from?
John Brzezinski.
Look into my eye. You ready, Rainey?
Yeah.
How old are you?
13.
13 years old. Wait, hold on. Wait. Did you see? You gave me your wrist. You bent your wrist back. Don't do it.
Ready to go!
Back over top of the
Coming forward, carry me home! ARMTV, where arm wrestlers go to know.
What? One more time. One more time. Oh, snap! But I remember thinking to myself, I've heard everyone talk about the pain. And I said, I've discovered it. I see what everyone's talking about. This is the pain they're talking about. Putting my arm in the cooler of ice and just, it was so bad. But I was like, it was like an aha moment. Like, oh, this is what you guys are talking about. Because I didn't really start. See, air quotes, I arm wrestled 2005, 2006, but I don't think I took it like seriously, like, oh, I want to get better until like more 2007 and on. And then I discovered the pain. And then that shit is real. Like, it can make you quit, right?
It's generally nerve inflammation. Usually it's your ulnar nerve that goes from your bottom 2 fingers through the bottom of your elbow and back around the back of your shoulder, and it becomes inflamed. And so you kind of wonder why guys like Devin, how can you arm wrestle every day, not be dead? How does this make sense? It's because over time their joints and everything have adapted to protect those nerves. They don't become inflamed so much because they're so strong that people aren't strong enough to inflame their nerves, and so they can just handle it. So if I arm wrestle with a bunch of amateurs like kids, I can arm wrestle every day. Not a big deal. You can't tear me down, little kids. You can't inflame my nerves. And so to those guys, everybody's little kids, and so they can just arm wrestle every day until they arm wrestle someone that's like at their level or can tear through them,
So let me ask you a question. I've now been arm wrestling, I think it's been 6 to 8 weeks, probably hard once a week. And I've had a little soreness and a little ricketiness, like, oh, my arm's waking up, but I haven't had that initial pain. Well, because I took so many years off, will I skip that or am I going to hit it?
How long in between your arm wrestling is there?
Well, now it's been 2 weeks, but I gave it 2 weeks to just heal up.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like
you shouldn't feel much after 2 weeks. I mean, you should.
No, but like when I have felt the pain, it's only been about 10 to 15% of that bad pain in the beginning years.
Are you training or lifting weights, or are you just arm wrestling for fun right now?
I'm doing some pull-ups and some push-ups at the moment. I don't have any gear with me.
Yeah, those are pretty elbow-intensive lifts and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, if you're not feeling it, then you're doing okay so far.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can get back into it without re-experiencing that new pain.
Yeah, I don't think you go all the way back to it. You might get some of it, depending on like how intense your practice was, how much shoulder commitment. Because you like to topple generally, right? You kind of stay up in people's hands a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not as elbow intensive. So
yeah, I've been testing my hook a little bit, but I'm still scared because I know. Here's the thing: when I used to film arm wrestling a lot, and I saw arm breaks, a lot of arm breaks were from people who used to arm wrestle and took a long time off, and then now came back and they went back like 100%, and they're like, oh. No, and I don't want to be that statistic. So I'm trying to come back safely is what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Okay. So your team now, how many people do you have?
Oh man. So you're talking about the roster of people that like were registered on my team, but now they're not all showing up all the time. Right. So on the registered people I'd say on my team is probably like 65, 70 people that were like on the team, air quotes. But people, coronavirus happened, all the people that joined and quit and fell off, you know what I mean? So on average practice, right now I'm having around 20, 25 people at each practice. But if pre-coronavirus and when things are really good, y'all have like 35 or more at each practice.
And how many people are lifers like you? They're never going. They're not going anywhere.
I got my hardcore teammates that have been in it all 6-7 years since I started the team for sure. There's definitely those guys. But right now with ArmBet, there's a huge influx of new guys. It's like every practice is getting 1 or 2 new guys. It's crazy. So every team right now is a ton of growth. You segued to ArmBet. That's perfect. That's what I was going to get to. Is I was going to wonder what you've done as a coach. Like, are you reaching out to all the people? Or are they reaching out to you? I think.
Like, how does it work?
Within 70 miles of me, if you download ArmBet and you're within 70 miles of me, it must seem like I'm like an automated message because the moment your name gets popped up, I send a message because I have every name memorized within like as far as I can see on my app, and I immediately message you, hey. Just so you know, man, there's practice today. Like, I hit up everyone. It must seem like an automated message how fast I hit these guys up, like right when they download the app. And I just message them and I say, hey, invite them to practice. Say it's totally free. Don't worry about it. You don't have to owe me anything. Just here we are. Come through, and I'll teach you everything I can, and we'll see if you like it. I just tell them.
Just to go back to what you said, where you're like, you used to put everything into like the guy on day one. Like, man, you're so passionate. This guy comes in and you just want to tell him everything.
Right.
And then they leave. That must be painful to like emotionally give like all the tips and then they just fuck off. They just like,
it feels kind of like a waste of time. Well, but now like I'm almost on the opposite end because sometimes I'll find myself being too lethargic at practice, like just doing my little workout and then just sitting back and just watching everyone. When really I could be more involved. So I try to find that middle ground, And like I said, as they show up more and they take it more serious, I'll take them more serious, and I try to stay true to that. So if I see them here day in day out, I'll start. All right, hey, let's work on straps today, me and you. And like I'll just pull people aside and start working on stuff. But yeah, it's that middle ground, man. I've been burned, man. Those girls broke my heart. You know what I'm saying, Gary? They broke my heart, and now it's trying to open up again.
I know. So now it takes. So how long do I have to show up on a weekly basis? Like how many weeks in a row before you start to think, all right, this motherfucker's worth investing some time?
No, I mean, you show up second week in a row, I'll give you a little bit. You show up a third week in a row, oh, hey, let's work on some more stuff. But a lot of guys like kind of stay away from me. I don't know if it's because my size or what it is, or if they're embarrassed or like nervous to come talk to me. So a lot of the new guys, I have some new guys on my team that literally have said 2 words to me and they've been to 7 practices. Like I showed them the arm break thing and they stay the hell away from me the entire practice.
Wait, what? For real?
Yeah, I got this one guy, and I hope he's watching, named Angel. He'll keep showing up to my practice and does not talk to me. He goes, "Hi, Derek," and he goes across the practice to the other guys' table, like the lighter guys, and doesn't even talk to me at all. Like, it doesn't even not a word. And he like stays away from me. It feels like. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Hey, for the people at home, we just finished our first chapter. So we're going to transition into the second chapter. So stay tuned. We have more. We're talking about, I want Derek's opinions on all things Devin Larratt, Michael Todd, and I'm curious about this whole Larry Wheels because I see a lot of comments online. So we'll be back.
Huge right now. You see that shit?
We hope you like the content. Thanks for stopping by. Please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Now click that little bell icon so you get notified. This was Gary Roberts and Travis Bagent live.
Damn it! Do something else. Don't ever say them 2 names to me.